Hello, my friends. Well, another busy day for recordings, and I'm glad to be here again. Same day, busy day today for this. Glad to see everybody. Glad to see all the responses. Asking you once again to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It'll help us keep the channel going and get a lot more videos up and running. The plan is to really double down here and make as many sterile processing videos as possible. I'm committed. And let's get this done. All right. Question. All of the following information should be included in a Sharps injury log, except, meaning what shouldn't be included on the Sharps injury log. Okay. Now, Sharps injury log is very specific about what they want. But let's look at the answers that we have. Multiple choice. Number one, type of device. Number two, brand of device. Number three, location in the facility where injury occurred. And number four, location on the body where injury occurred. All right. Well, let's work our way through this. So it's an injury, and we have a report, and we're looking to see what doesn't belong on the report. We have several possibilities here. Type of device, brand of device. These are answers one and two. But since the type and brand of the device where which you sustained an injury from, or anyone sustained an injury from, is important because we have to report it to the FDA. That is the rationale here. These two things should be there to see if there's any other from different places, any injuries from these instruments. Is it your fault, or is it the instrument's fault, is what they're saying. So answer one and two are definitely things that need to be on the injury log. Uh, as far as location in the facility where injury occurred, also important, so that needs to happen. Last but not least, location on the body where injury occurred. Now that part doesn't belong on the log. It almost doesn't matter where the injury occurred as long as it occurred. So the answer here, which part doesn't belong? Number four, location on the body where injury occurred. Hopefully the answer makes sense. Okay, moving on. Now, the guidelines designed for use by industrial hygienists in making decisions regarding safe levels of exposure to various agents in the workplace are called the. Let's read the question again and see if we can parse out the stuff that's needed and what's not. The guidelines designed for use by industrial hygienists in making decisions regarding safe levels of exposure to various agents in the workplace are called the what? We don't care who is, all this stuff about industrial hygienists making decisions regarding safe levels. Now, safe levels is what's important. Let's see what we have here. Standard exposure limit, number one. Number two, threshold limit values. Don't know. Flash point, don't know. And permissible exposure limit, or PEL. So in reality, there's again our 50-50 chance of success here and finding the right answer. Is it the standard exposure limit? That doesn't figure in any of the materials that we have in the sterile processing manuals. Flashpoint, that's a new one on me. The PEL is a possibility and a threshold limit. What do we have? The guidelines designed by the industrial hygienists in making decisions regarding safe levels of exposure. Threshold limit values, TLVs, are the guidelines designed for use in making decisions regarding safe levels of exposure to various chemical substances. So that would be the correct answer here. Even though I don't see this in our sterile processing manual, I'm going to make an educated guess here, even though on the exam I have never seen this information present. This is from outside of our area that we need to focus on. So I would not necessarily spend too much time on this question here. Let's go on to the next one. The probability of viable microorganism being present on a product until after sterilization is which of the following? Let's read the question again carefully. So the probability of a viable microorganism, meaning living microorganism, being present on a product until a product unit after sterilization is which of the following? So what are the chances that we may have an organism, living organism, on an instrument is what this question says. What are the options? Number one, because remember, we provide a reasonable assurance of sterility, right? So the question is, what is the probability? First answer, possibility number one, steam quality assurance level. Number two, process challenge level. Number three, sterility assurance level. And number four, parametric release level. Working our way backwards, never heard of the parametric release level, so number four is out. Number one, steam quality assurance level. Never heard of that one, so that's out. We're down to answer 2 and 3, process challenge level. I have no idea what that is. So that's out too. Sterility assurance level, or SAL, is the probability of a viable microorganism. So that would be the correct answer. We'll go with that one. Next. Some of these questions that I find are absolutely out of the left field, but you know, you got to be prepared for all eventualities here. Always check your manual, you know, to make sure, you know, that this actually does exist. Okay, sometimes it's just out there. Okay, external chemical indicators for sterilization indicate which of the following? Keyword, external chemical indicators. Number one, that the packaged item is sterile. Number two, that the packaged item is not sterile. Number three, that the packaged item needs more sterilization time or should be considered unsterile. Number four, that the packaged item has been in the sterilizer and exposed to the sterilization process. Well, I'm just going to give it away. It is number four, okay? Because chemical indicators alone. Remember, once again, go back to the reasonable guarantee, not guarantee, a reasonable, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank here, reasonable assurance of sterility. A reasonable assurance of sterility is based on three factors: chemical indicator, biological indicator, and mechanical indicator. Chemical indicator simply is just one of the triad, one of the three possibilities here. By itself, it proves nothing. The only thing it does show is that the package externally was exposed. The ones on the inside show that the inside of the package has been exposed to the sterilant. So the right answer here, is that the packaged item has been in the sterilizer and exposed to the sterilization process. That's the only thing that it does. There. Okay, correct answer number four. All right, next question. Each of the following should appear in the labeling of the plastic paper or paper to plastic peel pouch, except. So each of the following should appear in the labeling of the paper plastic pouch package, except. Number one, manufacturer's name. Information, number two, information about the item. Number three, package assembler's name and initials. Number four, storage location. I think I may be repeating myself, but it's okay. They ask similar questions on the test all the time. Let's look at the question again and the answers again. Each of the following should appear in the labeling of the paper plastic pouch. Well, we don't really need manufacturer's name on it. So it says except. So to me, it jumps right out. Answer number one. Number two, information about the item. Yeah, We need information about the item. Package assembler's name or initials, yes. Storage location, yes. Manufacturer name, not necessary. Answer is number one. This is the stuff we can do without. Moving on to the next question. All right. The conductivity of water. Oh, my favorite. The conductivity of water is an important measurement that indicates which of the following. Number one, minerals found in water. Number two, alkalinity. Number three, ionic charge. Number four, dissolved solids. So the conductivity of water is an important measurement that indicates which of the following. Well, let's take a look. Minerals found in water? No, not going to discuss anything about minerals. Alkalinity, well, that's a pH measurement, so we're not going to do that. Number three, ionic charge. Number four, dissolved solids. I'm going to go with ionic charge, even though the device that we use for measurement of dissolved solids is TDS, total dissolved solids meter, TDS meter. It's the actual ionic charge or electrical charge. The greater the electrical charge, the more elements are present in the water, which is kind of a trick question. So this would be a 50-50 toss-up. So just remember that the TDS meter measures the concentration of charged particles inside the water conducting electricity, because conductivity measures the dirtiness of water. All right, let's move forward. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a bit confusing, but they like to confuse the living daylights out of people. Okay, which of the following is not necessary for documentation relating to a sterilizer cycle? Which of the following is not necessary for documentation relating to a sterilizer cycle? Number one, length of cycle. Number two, sterilizer temperature used. Number three, identification of technician running it. Number four, humidity level in the room. It's not necessary to indicate the humidity level in the room when dealing with the sterilizer cycle. So the answer here is number four, and that's it. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Central service technicians must be familiar with medical terminology. The initials THA stand for which of the following? You know, this is one of those interesting things. So let's take a look. THA. Is it total hysterectomy abdominal? Is it temporary heart arrhythmia? Is it total hemorrhage of aorta? Is it total hip arthroplasty? THA stands for total hip arthroplasty. That's where we are. Next. Folks, there's not much medical terminology on the exam, and I don't want you to overextend yourselves or overexert yourselves trying to study medical terminology. Medical terminology is great. It's important. You have to learn it to look and sound the part of a healthcare professional, but do the best that you can and don't overdo it. Okay. Okay, the conflict resolution style in which one person achieves his or her own goals at the expense of the other person is which of the following? The conflict resolution style in which one person achieves his or her own goals at the expense of the other person is which of the following? Well, let's look at the answers that we have. Number one, collaboration. Number two, force. Number three, avoidance. Number four, accommodation. Now, friends, even if you didn't find it in the sector on communication and human relations in the book, it's fairly easy for us to deduce the right answer. Next, collaboration. is definitely not. But let's look at the question one more time. The conflict resolution style in which one person achieves his or her own goals at the expense of the other. So we're not looking for um, uh, collaboration here. We're just trying to force our will on somebody else. So collaboration is out. Avoidance, we're definitely not avoiding. We're forcing somebody. Accommodation is definitely not the other. So the only answer that makes sense here is force. Number two, force. That would be the one I would choose based on intellectual analysis. Next question. Central service technicians are familiar with the different body systems. In terms of the several types of joints in the skeletal system, the type which allows a turning motion is which of the following? Turning motion. Okay, that would be this motion right over here. And think of the joint of the radius bone. Okay, so not much time is spent on it, but it is in the book. And so we have several different types of joints. Ball and socket joint, that would be your hip, hinge joint, and gliding joint, and pivot joint. Well, let's read the question. Central service technicians are familiar, blah, 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 with the different body systems, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. You can cut that off. In terms of several types of joints in the skeletal system, the type which allows a turning motion is which of the following? Turn is another word for pivot. Pivot joint is the right answer. Number two. Next question. All right. Obstructing communication through non-committal answers and generalization is which of the following? Is it aggressive communication? Is it blocking? Is it decoding? Is it filtration? So I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's not what I've come across in the HSPA's manual. But I do want to address this because they have a million ways of asking the same questions. Let's look at the language here. Obstructing communication through non-committal answers and generalization is which of the following? Obstructing has to fit. Obstructing is the key word. Aggressive communication? No. Decoding? No. That doesn't jive with obstructing. Filtration? Definitely not obstructing, but blocking. Number two, blocking and obstructing are the same word. Intelligent answer is blocking. That's Steve's choice. That's where we go. Okay, number two, blocking is the right answer here. Next, medical terminology involves understanding surgical roots, base word elements that refer to the main body of medical word. The root hemi indicates which of the following? I want to tell you that root hemi is important. It appears in oh, I'm so sorry. It's not hemi. I misread. I need glasses. It's hernia, like in the word hernia. Okay. My apologies. Hemi, by the way, means half. Okay, I'm reading the answers here. I'm reading the possibilities here. I'm thinking, what? Who? So number one answer is liver. Number two is stone. Number three is fat. Number four is rupture. Liver is hepato. Stone is litho. Fat is lipo. Hernia is rupture. Answer number four. This is where we are. Rupture. Hernia. Like in the hernia. Okay, there are many roadblocks to good communication. One of these roadblocks is the halo effect. It involves which of the following? Let me give you a little backstory to halo. It's when you have a firm belief that you place on one person that they can never do any wrong. They are saints. The answer is no. There's no such person. Well, that's the halo effect. Sometimes we say that people are the devil. The other one is like a little devil sitting on one shoulder, little angel sitting on the other. You know how it is. Well, we always say, oh, this person can do no wrong. Well, that's the halo effect. Let's read the answers. Number one, favoring a person because he or she has a quality found to be attractive. Sounds like the right answer. Let's look at the other ones. Favoring a person because he or she behaves or thinks as you do. No, it's close, but not. Letting personal feelings affect communication. No. Last but not least, assigning a behavioral characteristic to a person when it is not his actual behavior. You know, it's a possibility, but favoring a person, number one, because he or she has a quality found to be attractive, that's the right answer. That kind of jives with what I described, what halo effect actually is. All right, let's do another. The concept involving the development and maintenance of effective interpersonal relationship that enhances teamwork is concept of involving the development of and maintenance of human relations is how it's spelled out in the book. So let's listen to the answers. So the concept involving the development and maintenance of effective interpersonal relationships that enhance teamwork is communication, human relations, professionalism, and health relationships. So professionalism and health relationships are gone. The only thing that's left is communication and human relations. Communication is defined totally differently. Communication is basically just transmitting, receiving, and understanding information. So that language must be in there. But human relation is the development and maintenance of effective human relations, development and maintenance. So the answer here is number two, human relations. All right. So the barrier to good communication in which a member of a team disagrees with every idea that is proposed is which of the following? So which person says, no, 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 that can't be done, can't be done, can't be done? Putting up, hands like this. What is that? First one is encoding. No, doesn't seem to. Decoding. No. Blocking. That seems to work. Number three. Number four, emotional interference. I don't even know any of this stuff except blocking seems to make sense, and that is the right answer. Okay. Moving on. The term that refers to how people interact and communicate, as in meetings, is which of the following? The term that refers to how people interact and communicate as in meeting is which of the following? Is it consensus? No, it's not how people interact. Is it consultation? No. Is it brainstorming? No. How people interact. So why have one more answer here, which is group dynamics? That is the right answer. Okay. I'm coming to an end of my list here. Let's just finish this up and we're in good shape. Okay, the term that refers, no, my apologies. I'm reading back to the, okay, here's a good question. The central service technicians should be familiar with which entities' regulations on how to handle medical waste. All right, who handles waste? Is it the Joint Commission? Number one? No. Is it OSHA? Number two? No. That's Occupational Safety and Health. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. Why, that seems about right. What's number four? The FDA, Food and Drug Administration. They don't handle waste, but the EPA does. So the right answer is the Environmental Protection Agency. All right, which of the following is the most likely source for cross-contamination to occur? Is it keyboards? Is it crash carts? Hospital kitchen dishwasher? Is it patient charts? Believe it or not, the right answer here is keyboards. because a lot of people have access to them and many people touch them without cover. Okay, so keyboards would be one of those crazy things that you have to keep in mind. Okay, when traveling through a biohazard area, what attire is required? Now, who tells us about attire in hospitals? What organization? Let's give it a thought. We have, let's read the question one more time. When traveling through a biohazard area, what attire is required? Is it surgical scrubs and hair covering? Is it surgical scrubs, hair covering, and masks? Is it regular street attire? Well, we know that's not the case, so, But last but not least here is OSHA required PPE. Like original equipment manufacturer's instructions for use, we always defer to OSHA to tell us what's required in that particular area. So even though scrubs, surgical scrubs and hair covering may be correct, we don't know. A better answer is, hey, look to the authority in this matter, and that would be OSHA. So OSHA required PPE is the right answer. And on that, I bid you farewell. In these series, we have already completed about 100 questions. I'm going to search out a few more and get them posted as soon as possible. Go through this, transcribe these, and go over them again, again, and again. Listen to the rationale. All right, my dear friends, I will see you soon. Wishing you all the best. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all these things that make this viable for us to keep this channel open. Thank you.